I apologize if I sound a little hoarse. Today, for the first time ever, I threw up after jujitsu from just
Oh,
overexertion. So I'm like, okay, okay.
damn,
What you
diet,
got? What
something.
you got? What you
Damn,
got?
bro.
Yeah, silly, silly. All
So
right.
it kicked your ass. That's what it kicked your ass.
It does, man. It's in the
Yeah,
best way. In the
yeah,
best way.
good. All
So
right, ready?
Jesse, I'm so excited to meet you, man. I'm so excited to have you on the show.
Appreciate
Uh,
it.
we've been chatting a little bit, but man, so typically how I like to start these things, especially with a new friend, is man, I like to go back to the beginning.
Let's do
I
it.
wanna know where you came from. And we mentioned it in our little chat yesterday. I think a great place to start is you're Jesse Rhodes Jr.
Yes.
And usually I find that when someone includes a junior in their title, that means there's a senior out there that they're trying to, make a
Yes.
distinction of. So talk to me about
Yes.
your early life, man. Tell me about your family and your dad and what's going on.
Oh, I love it. Thank you for that. Yeah, Jesse Rose Jr., proud to say it. One, it makes it easy to find me, right? But that was a byproduct later. I didn't realize putting Jesse Rose Jr., I am the only Jesse Rose Jr. It was one other person that passed away, so I have no intention to join him anytime soon. Uh,
Perfect.
in that department, we got too much work to do.
Yeah,
But
that's right. That's right.
born born and raised Philadelphia, grew up. I'm the oldest of two.
Huh.
And so, as you can imagine, I'm the first to try and break through every barrier, kid, every lesson, every learning fell in my
Same.
lap, and every time I got
Same.
in trouble as well came with it too. And my dad, Jesse Rose Sr., love him to life, right? Mom and I, so my mom and him been married now for 57 years.
Let's
Right?
go.
He's a, military guy. He spent time in the Army,
Mhm.
and, especially during his age, right? He's turning 80 this year, and
Okay.
so to serve in the Army, being Black, coming back from war, to still deal with the challenges of civil rights and stuff like that in that era, just the mindset to go through, and seeing him today, humble, super proud of his time in the military, Purple Heart. He got
Wow.
hit with a bullet. The bullet hit the, tank and went into his eye and his neck and his arm. So
Oh,
he's legally blind in one eye now. It started to
okay.
get worse over time.
Wow.
And of course, we don't hear the stories. He's like, it's right. And
Yeah.
so, but you see in his mannerism, very disciplined, man of few words, but when he speaks, it's powerful words. And just, yeah, it's proud to be a junior to him. So I look up to
Yeah.
him. I always
That's
tell my dad,
amazing.
I copied my mom. My mom has a more spunk, more personality, more outgoing, more of an extrovert. But I
Yep.
had that discipline of my dad, and he gave me when I grew up as a kid, you know, um, you know, bicycle jumping over people on the bike ramps, and just it was a crazy fun kid. Got into a crazy fight, which I'll tell that story later on, that really shifted my life. And I remember him taking me down to my new high school as a result of the fight. And he said, if they ask you, what do you want to do when you grow up? Say accounting. You like math, you like money. I'm like, yeah, say accounting. It never asked a question, but it stuck with me. I went to school and took an accounting class, got an A. Like, I like this.
Okay.
Took it again, got an A again. I like this too. Ended up being the first in my family to go to college.
Okay.
So yeah, my dad's rooted in the making of Jesse Rose Jr.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. I know it's so funny. I got this thought in my mind. I just need to get it out so I can move past it.
Bring
But
it, bring it.
you said, West Philadelphia, born and raised, and then
I know,
you got in a fight and you had to move to. I was like,
literally.
if he says with his auntie and uncle in Bel Air, I'm gonna lose my mind right now.
No, it's so funny. I tell people, hey, you met Will Smith? And I can say, yes, I met Will Smith. He and Jada Pickett, and he was filming Independence Day
Okay.
in I guess it was New York. At the time, his dad was still alive, And so his dad was close friend with a friend of ours named Don, and Don used to do short, performances in Rittenhouse Square in Philadelphia. So his dad, Will Smith, and Jada Pickett came to come visit. So me and my cousin Ronald and Don was there, and they come in, and Will's all buffed up for the movie, all in shape and tall. I'm 5'11". He's probably about six, whatever, 6'1".
Yeah.
And Jada Pickett comes in, gorgeous, more attractive in person than she is on screen. Jada, don't kill me for saying that. You probably already know.
Yeah. No easy feat, right?
No easy feat. Gorgeous, and her energy field was insane. So I had a chance to. So maybe people will say that. I said, yes, I have had a chance to meet Will. Does he remember me? I don't know. I met Jada again later, recently, in recent years, and I referenced it to her. I said, I don't expect you to remember this moment, but when I described it to her, she was like, "You know what? That does sound familiar. I remember we used to go to Philly all the time to Rittenhouse Square to spend time with it." Yeah. So it was
That's
super cool to
awesome.
see her again. Yeah.
It's funny, not Will Smith, but when I was working for eXp Realty, they used to have these virtual events, and,
Yeah.
the Black EXP network would throw their yearly party, and, they would have Jazzy Jeff come in and DJ for them in their
Oh,
virtual
yeah.
space.
Yeah.
So, I didn't get to meet Will Smith, but I did, and I'm not gonna say I produced him, but I did get to produce his live stream of his DJing in the virtual world in EXP and spend time with him. So, like,
That
super
guy's
cool.
intense. He's
Dude, he
intense. I
and so talented, like, just
yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I got a chance to indirectly meet him. We were in the same space together, and he was nearby, and he was at work, so I used to re-meet him, but he was DJ twice. Once with my girlfriend I was dating at the time, and she's in that industry, and then 2 at a conference, and he came to perform at the conference, and I was just so amazed
Yeah.
of his skill level and how much he really puts into it. No one compares. And I know
No.
I'm biased, I'm from Philadelphia, but I don't think I know any DJ that put the level of effort he does behind it.
Yeah.
Living DJ. Some past
Yeah.
ones, living DJ.
Totally. Yeah, and it was crazy too because, so I met him and then, Ronnie DeVoe became an agent at EXP. So I was like, "Okay, so I got DJ Jazzy Jeff and I got Belle Biv DeVoe over here, like, this is my junior high dream, right?" Like, me no all the guys I was listening to, I was like, "What is this?"
Don't tell them that, like, "What you are you aging us now?"
They were like, "I hate this guy. Can we get a different producer in here? This guy's what is this guy talking about?" That's amazing. So, yeah, well, thank you for entertaining my, my little tangent down the side road there. Um, okay, so, yeah, so you went to college. So let's talk about that. Like,
Yeah.
how'd that go? What was that like? And, how did that get you started on the path, that you're on now?
Wow, and I'll share too for those who are listening, just Rhodes Jr. I'm an author, speaker, coach, lecturer, but I started my career risk management, accounting, management information systems. Again, it all extended from my time at high school, and then I went into college. And so, as you could probably imagine, just as long as my title is today, I was just that crazy student as well. I came to school, open eyes, excited. So I joined organizations there. I started my chapter of NABA, NABA, which stands for, usually stands for National Association of Black Accountants Incorporated. Way too long to say. We just say NABA for short now. We actually spent money to rebrand just to say NABA. Go figure, right?
Yeah, that's a
And
mouthful.
right, right. All like we hired a consulting company to rebrand us, and they said, "Conclusion, NABA." What?
Never.
So anyway, I love them, but it's true. And
Yeah.
then besides that, I started my own chapter of my fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. And I
No.
started that at school as a charter member. So I was that aggressive, involved student. And I did other organizations too, campus activity board. I bought the Roots. when they was called Square Roots. I brought the roots onto campus. So Questlove of those folks.
Yeah.
And I did Diggable Planets,
Oh, yeah.
right? Came on campus too. So I was
Yeah.
involved with that. And so I reflect back to that version of me, right?
No.
Especially folks that are maybe younger watching too. I'm still that person. The version of me in college, heavily involved in organizations, doing things in music, as well as studying accounting and management information systems. Fast forward, I'm a risk officer, done it for multiple years, 25 plus years. I'm still involved in tons of nonprofit organizations. I'm still attached on a national board for NAVA, still involved in my fraternity, and I'm also involved in After School All Stars, and the list continues. And I'm still involved in music, right? And so I look at
That's
the
it?
yeah, I know, and I'm an author, right? So it's like
Yeah.
I've never stopped being, and so in college, I was just love humans and was
Yeah.
fascinated about this environment. It was new for me,
Yeah.
right? And then I paid my way through college because Drexel had a co-op program, so I took my money from co-op and used that money to pay for school. My little sister wasn't as ambitious, super smart, love her teacher, and I wanted to help my parents help her get through college,
Mhm.
pay for her, and I'll pay my way. So I
Mhm.
paid my way through college so they can create space. They could pay for her to get through college.
Yeah.
And it was great. We did it. And
That's
so
amazing. That's amazing.
that's why I'm a hard, crazy, no sleeping worker today
Yeah.
is a product of that upbringing, structure, and growth of the earlier version of me.
How, far apart are you and your sister in age?
2 years, love her to
Okay.
life. That's my best friend. Like,
Yeah.
now, when we were younger, oh, first of all, she could fight, okay? She kicked
Oof.
my butt a few times, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and
Yeah.
I can remember the battles when and I really mean she kicked my butt, y'all. Okay, I own it. Like, I remember one time she was 16 or 15, I can't remember her exact age, and I guess I was 17. I said something to her. She got up and pushed me, and I fell and hit her bed. She had a white bed frame. I get up and my skin is still attached to the bed frame. And I looked at my arm and I saw it start growing and growing and growing and growing. I was like, "We cool. We cool. I am never messing with you ever again. I
Let's be
love you.
friends.
We are friends. We are on the same team. You demonstrate your strength, and I am forever grateful." And sure enough, we never did get in a fight ever again.
That's amazing. My brother and I are 15 months apart, and
Okay.
he's younger.
Yeah.
Um, and, we're built different,
Yeah.
I was a little shorter, stockier, I was always just like this little brick bulldog,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
was more tall and skinny and to this day, while he has punched and hit and kicked me countless times.
Ugh.
He has never experienced a bare closed hand punch from me. I've never hit my brother,
Yeah.
which is pretty crazy. Like my dad was super into boxing, so he used to put gloves on us and stuff.
Yeah.
And so we
Same.
would we would do a little bit of that,
Yeah.
and then maybe I'd tag my brother with a good one, and he
Yeah.
would throw his gloves off and start bare knuckling me, like, ah. Uh, yeah, I never ended up like that, but we definitely got in some fun little scraps,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
but no, but like you said, now, because we were in that same environment together all
Yeah.
those years,
Yeah.
pretty much just had each other, uh, now our relationship is super solid.
Yeah.
It's you can't touch it.
Yeah. Same. She lives in Philadelphia still, what, New Jersey with the I got 4 beautiful nieces, love 'em to life, and so just to see how much he's evolved and the kids and they love with me just as much. So it's like, here is my sister with extension of 4 beautiful young women, ladies, and I get a chance to be Uncle Jesse, right? And
Yeah.
so it's like the gift continues, right?
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
get excited when I come back from Seattle and I fly to Philadelphia, go hang out with them in New Jersey. They all want to come to Seattle. And hint, hint, I'm not sure they know this yet or not, but maybe when they see the show, is a Christmas gift is I'm flying all of them here to Seattle. My gift, my treat.
Oh,
They all gonna fly
amazing.
to Seattle for the first time and see me here physically. It's always made sense when they go there because one ticket, but I want them to come. Come here. I've
Yeah.
been here for 10 years. They wanna come here, so we're doing it this summer.
I want to not to go off on another tangent,
Yeah,
but
bring it.
I just want to call out something that you've said a couple of times that I really think is interesting, and it keeps rattling around, so I got to talk about it.
Bring it.
I love that you say, "I love them to life."
Yes.
Um, Words are so powerful, right? And
Yes.
so important, and the meaning of them and the intention behind them. I
Yes.
love that you set an intention to turn something that, like, people use these phrases without even thinking about what they mean,
Correct.
but I think "I love you to life" is so beautiful, and it's such
Mhm.
a stark contrast to "I love you to death," right?
Yes.
Just
Yes.
anyway, I didn't wanna go too, but I just wanted to
Mhm.
appreciate you for that. I think that's gonna play into the rest of our conversation, but I'm just I love it, and I wanted to call it out, so, uh
Thank you for acknowledging that and the intentionality of that. You're right. For me, the intentionality is that you stay present to the life that they bring. And yes, we
yeah,
all have a end date per se. And it's
sure.
like, but let me celebrate every single second. And guess what? Even when I'm not here anymore or they're not here, we still continue to live with them in memory and in
Yeah,
spirit and so forth. So for me, it's like it's a continuum. It's
yeah,
legacy. A part of me is with each of those beautiful girls, and it'll carry that life for me further, hopefully
yeah,
longer than me. And so, right, is the acknowledgement and the celebration and support of life
yeah.
and being present to what you are today and every second and every breath that comes in between.
It's beautiful, man. I love it. I love it. So, well, thanks for letting me call it out because I kept hearing it and I was like,
Yeah,
dude, this is so cool and so intentional. Like I don't want to let this pass by without
yeah, yeah.
mentioning it. Okay, cool. So you go through all that college. You have so many things that it's easy to just go, "Oh yeah, so then I did this, right?" But I don't want to skip past it. I want to really understand how we arrive with the current version of Mr. Jesse where we are now. So what
Mm.
what does post college look like? What did you focus on after that all wrapped up?
Yes. So 2 things post-college. One was I have to acknowledge an amazing mentor, Debbie Hassan. Why she's amazing on so many levels. And she was the partner at Deloitte& and Touche, my first full-time employment after college. It's a public accounting firm, one of the largest Big 4 accounting firms. At the time, it was still considered the Big 5. Arthur Andersen and Enron didn't happen yet, right? And so the Big 5 accounting firms. And while I'm meeting with her in my interview, she looks at me, beautiful woman, blonde hair, ocean blue eyes, like piercing ocean blue eyes. She's the only person I think in my life I've seen those eyes. And she's across the table from me. And here I am, nervous, trying to decide, get this job at a big 5 accounting firm. And she says to me, wow, your resume. You are the president for NAVA. You're involved in that campus activity board. You have a strong GPA, and we need you here. And I told her this later in life. I said, the words that you saw me and realized me and my potential and said, we need you here, altered me forever. Coming and so like that impact, even at an interview, is so critical for someone that's coming out of college, not sure where you want to go. I didn't know what Deloitte was or what my career should go, but the fact that she trusted me meant the world. And you fast forward that, I had this gift to say to her, "Hey, come out to my alumni event at Drexel. You are a mentor to me. You contribute to my career." Gave me a chance to give her flowers back. God,
Mm,
I was so grateful. Why give flower while folks are still living, and she's still living. And
yeah,
so take that part, post-com at Deloitte& and Touche, work at this amazing accounting firm doing information technology, risk management. Didn't know what the heck that meant yet. It was new, even in profession, IT audit, what's that, right?
yeah.
And I worked my butt off. One segment right when I finished college, and I don't share this often, so it's a good insight here, is when I was that September, I was going to fly to Colorado for our training, and my girlfriend at the time tells me she's pregnant.
Mhm.
So I'm like, "Okay, new career, just finished college, and I have a pregnant girlfriend. Love
Yeah.
her, heavy." And I can't remember my dad telling me back to Jesse Rhodes Sr., he said, "Hey, I'll raise a son. I'm not raising a father." Translate meant you go out there and make a baby, you got to take care of the baby. Ain't no longer free rent at the house. So
That's
here I
right.
am going away on my flight to Colorado, realizing when I get back, I'm homeless.
Yeah.
I got a pregnant girlfriend. I'm gonna be homeless because my dad told me I'll raise a son and not a father. Oh, man, right?
Yeah.
And so I come back from that trip, we tell my parents, he kept to his word,
He has
but
to,
then
right? He
he
has
had
to.
to.
He had
But
to.
what was compounding at the time was when we were going, my girlfriend at the time and I were going to my parents' house, I get a phone call, and it's her brother.
Mm.
And her brother tells me, "Hey, Jesse, is your my ex-girlfriend at the time, Melissa, is she around?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, unfortunately, our dad passed away."
Oh.
So here I am going to my parents. We both trying to challenge and figure out about her being pregnant. Now with the realization that she never got a chance to tell her father
Mm.
that she was having a baby.
Yeah.
So that really shifted my life and narrative. It was
Mhm.
one more pivotal moment. Fast forward, we have my son Jason. He's 3 months old. I'm working crazy at Deloitte, working late hour nights, trying to be super dad at home, helping with Jason. We go to the pediatrician, looking at different pediatrician locations. I'm driving back to our apartment at the time. During daytime, I black out, fall asleep, hit
Oh.
a pole, right? She's in the back seat because she was nursing the baby. So she was sleeping too. Jason was sleeping. Jason was in the car seat, no impact.
Mm.
Unfortunately, she got broken up, broke her arm, internal bleeding, helicopter her out.
Oh.
I had bruising on my chest. Back then, there was no airbags in cars.
Yeah.
So I got bruising on my chest and the steering wheel. Thankfully, nothing broken. So here I am, brand new baby boy, 3 months old, and myself at the hospital, separate hospital from her. She's flown to University of Washington. I'm sorry, University of Pennsylvania, top rated hospital for trauma, bleeding, all that stuff. They
Yeah.
cut her open, take care of the internal bleeding, restore her arm. That moment from shifting from new parent to now I just broke up my girlfriend, right? 3 months old baby. I significantly lean into my career and work like crazy. It. It was I was committed. I owed her that. I had a family. I was dedicated. The part was so beautiful. Deloitte, really embraced me and said, "Hey, take off time." Debbie Hassan said, "Take off a month. Be present with
Yeah.
your new mother of your child." So they were there for me. And so my commitment to Deloitte, 10 years of my career it came from the foundation of family being there for
Mm.
me in the toughest moments of my life, which speaks to my career acumen, my purpose, and my why. And those foundational years of understand I had to grow up aggressively at
Yeah.
22, 23 years old because new baby, she couldn't hold her own baby, right? At,
Right.
3 months old, and so that was the ultimate shift for me.
Did you find out what caused the blackout?
Sleep, tired, exhaustion,
Oh, just
work around the
tired.
clock, work around the
Yep,
clock,
yep,
try to be super daddy, super employee,
yep.
fell asleep, was exhausted,
Just
exhausted.
just burning that candle at both ends, man. I've been there for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely been there.
Yeah, I had
Uh,
nightmares for years. I had nightmares for years around I kept seeing a scene of the pole coming at me.
yeah,
And so that really shaped the early part of my career, probably for at least the first 5, 6 years, but it became the foundational part of my why,
yeah,
right? And why I move in the world the way I move. And all this stuff was new for me. First to go to college, got a brand new baby,
yeah,
broke my girlfriend up.
yeah.
I got married this woman, right? So I ended up marrying her, right? So I
Right.
was like, all these shifts that were happening in my life at 22, 23. I remember when I remember when Jason was 3 years old, we finally like walked down the aisle officially, and he was with me for a few weeks, oh no, a week before and didn't see mom because she was preparing for the wedding. And then sure enough, the doors opened up. She come with her wedding gown, and then my son had just was the ring boy. He
Okay.
trips and get he right, he gets up, he sees mommy, "Mommy!" He runs to mommy. So she picks him up,
Oh,
and she's walking down the aisle with Jason, right, down the aisle. I said it was so symbolic. The whole
that's
wedding,
amazing.
all symbolic. Her walking down the aisle with Jason, the ring boy, on my wedding day. That's the early version of Jesse. That's me. That's my roots. That's my young
Yeah,
adult life.
yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy, man. You know, I got married young.
Mhm.
Um, I was a month away from 20, uh,
You're a baby.
baby. But I had, you know, uh, I had a tumultuous relationship with my mom, and, I was raised by a single mom, for, most of my young life, and spent a lot of time with my grandparents. And I had, like, a chip on my shoulder about it by the time I was old enough, I was 18, 19 years old. I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna go and get married and get a job and buy a house and have kids, and I'm gonna show you that I'm not gonna be a product of my environment, I'm gonna be different.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do it now." And
Yep.
like, I wouldn't trade it. I got 2 boys out of it, and they're amazing, and, they're, like, the kindest men on the planet.
Mm.
just beautiful hearts. Um, but man, that was a rough, rough road for a long time, and, ultimately didn't end up working out, and it's all just lessons, right? It's all just things that we have to learn how to assimilate and incorporate and grow from or through or, in spite of, uh, that being that young, but I don't think people really understand how little you know
Yes!
when you're
Correct!
that you don't know nothing. Like, the older I get now, I'm like, "Bro, when I was 30, I didn't know anything." I'm
Correct,
raising kids,
correct, correct,
Like, dude, who gave me kids?
correct. Same here. I always tell my friends I do a lot of, as you know, as a coach and speaker and so forth, I'm always looking for my own development. And I
Yeah,
was in this one program that does more around transformation, learning. And so one of the first sessions they asked you, everyone raise your hands, who has, trauma because of their parents? I want everyone to
yeah.
put their hands up, right? I said, okay, okay. How old was your parents when they had you? And we all thinking. And he said, how many of your parents were in their 20s? Yeah, okay, okay. How much did you know when you were in your 20s? Well, ooh. And we put all this pressure on our parents and
Yeah,
all the blame on our parents, not realizing our parents didn't know they just human. And so allows you to
man.
quickly say, "You know what? Mom, dad, I love you. I get you didn't know what the heck you were thinking either, and I get you were trying. And
Yeah.
most cases, as humans, we out of fear, we wanna protect our kids from situations. We end up hurting them.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a father of 2, I have a son and a daughter. I see now, like, "Sorry, Jason. Sorry, Jessica. I see what I contribute to the situation," right? You just see it, and
Yeah.
that's the part of life.
Yeah, man, my parents were 19 when they had
Oh,
me.
so same, so you know. What
Same
the heck?
situation. And I've done that thing too where I apologize to my boys later on, like they're in their 20s now,
Yeah,
and I've done that thing where I'm like, "Hey, guys, I'm sorry about this or that." And they're like, "What are you talking about? Like what
yeah, right.
what is this
Yeah,
what event are you describing right now? I don't even remember that." And I'm like,
right.
"Okay, so my worst bleeding traumas you don't even remember." Like, perfect. Like
I know.
perfect, guys.
I know one time I apologized to my son because he experienced an event, that I remember, vividly, and I had this, like, this pain of, oh, trauma I did to my son, and so I went to him and said, "Listen, I wanna connect with you, and I wanna share, I wanna be authentic where I've been inauthentic with you in life." And I go in and apologize, I started crying and everything. He was like, "Dad, I don't remember that, but I'm grateful that you shared this with me, and I
Yeah,
love you, and I'm glad you got complete with it." So he ended
beautiful.
up being mine, he gave me a hug, he was super appreciative of it. He like, you can let that go. And so many areas in our life, we hold on to things that we assume the other person is experiencing the same thing.
Yeah,
And the honest truth is 99% of the case is not,
right.
right? We have a great mutual friend that will say, I hope I get it right, is people experience pain in life, but the absent of a process to deal with that pain, it becomes trauma. And so we
Yes.
hold on to trauma because we didn't process it or did not let it go or have that moment to get complete with the person that we perceive was impacted by it. And like you said, not 99.9% of the time, they're like, what? What are you
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
and I always take it to the grave or in a deathbed and they're saying, "Hey, I wanna make a quick phone call to get complete with this," and the person like, "I don't know what you're talking about." So they've been holding this for 80 years in their body, trauma and attachment that the other person has no clue. And so for me, it's
man.
the freeing is for yourself when you get free.
It's crazy because you're also describing guilt, right? And to have a trauma that you're trying to deal with is one thing. To have guilt that you
Ooh,
caused that trauma on top
mm,
of that,
mm,
that's a one too, right? Like, that
ooh,
knocks most people out.
yes,
I mean, just literally.
yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. I wonder too, like, when we talk about those things and we say, like, we're apologizing, right? Because there's a freedom for your soul in apologizing,
Ooh, yes,
especially if you
yes.
really are mean it, right? You're sincere.
Yes.
Um
Yes.
it doesn't necessarily alleviate your trauma or your guilt though, right? Like, it's a good thing, like, it's important.
Oh,
Um
I would say it does. Here, when you authentically in a space with, like, my son, and I release that guilt that I had with him, and I apologize for the potential impact that it may have caused. Now, when I did that, it wasn't to get a validation response or him to say yes or no or you're
Right.
forgiven. It's not about them that at all. When you do it, and in his case, say, "Hey, what do you mean?" Instant release.
Yeah.
When
That's good.
I
That's
give you
great.
I
That's
give you
great.
another example, heavy hitter one, being vulnerable in the space,
Yeah.
especially as us men, was when I got divorced. I'm divorced too now. I've been divorced now for 13 years. And I remember there was this moment that I need to get complete with my ex-wife.
Mm.
So I called her on the phone. Of course she didn't pick up.
Right.
But
Right.
the
Right.
voice now. the fun the funny thing, the voicemail comes on. I got a decision tree. Do I leave a message?
That's
And I
right.
said, Imma do it. And I know the coaching told me not to do it, but I knew to get this homework assignment done, I gotta leave a voicemail. So on the voicemail, I don't remember my exact words, but it's something around the sense of, "Hey, I just wanna call to apologize for all my wrongdoings and the impact I have had on you and your
Yeah,
life. I honor you as a mother, my children. I honor you as a beautiful wife in my life and a partner. I know I've disrespected you in your time in life, and I know I've hurt your heart, and I apologize." So all that. It was heavy. But then
yeah,
when I did that, this gray dust, like, felt like it was leaving my chest.
mm,
Felt this like this death was leaving.
yeah,
Now, she never called me back,
yeah,
and I didn't expect it to,
yeah,
but it felt freeing.
yep,
About a year later, maybe 2 years later, I'm with my daughter. We're talking, and she said, "Hey, dad, what's up? Remember that time you called mom?" "Yeah, about what?" She said, "Yeah, you left a voicemail." Now, inside, I'm infuriated at this point. Why does she know about this, right?
"Why'd you tell
My
her, daughter? What are you
daughter? What's she doing? You let her know what? Right?
doing?" Yeah,
What? So
yeah,
then she goes and tells me, "Well, I heard your message."
mm,
So now I'm, like, crushing embarrassment. Like, "Oh my god, my daughter." She said, "I appreciate you.
mm,
You call mom and apologize." She said, "I don't know what you've been doing, but I'm grateful for your healing work, and
yeah,
I see what you're doing." So that act, while there was not the direct intent, gave a beautiful impact to my relationship with my daughter that I have
yeah,
today.
yeah,
Crazy. So I tell people, when you take the act with intentionality and clarity and purpose, the impact is far greater than your mind and heart could ever imagine. And
yeah,
you don't have to be present for the reward of it. You're not doing it as a selfish, no, you do it to free yourself of that, of what that work is. And that's the
yeah,
healing piece, man. So yeah, you
yeah.
got two deep stories I don't
Woo!
normally share.
Woo! This is what I'm here for, man. You're like, you getting me. I'm sitting here like, come on, I'm about to make some popcorn. No, honestly, um, one of the one of the sort of features of this chapter of my life is
Mm,
I'm really, really trying to intentionally be grateful out loud to people for things. Um,
yes.
because I never was someone who I didn't say thank you and sorry and a lot when I was younger, you know?
Yeah.
But but when someone is willing, like you were just now, to break down that wall of vulnerability, I mean, I was sitting here relating to it, you know,
Mhm.
and I know that there's gonna be people that are too, and so I just wanna be grateful for your bravery and for you being so forthright and sharing those things. I really appreciate it, and I know it's gonna impact other people, so, you know,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for creating that space.
Hey, man, I love it. This is what I wanna do with my life. I wanna talk to
Yeah.
good people and gain perspective and give people a chance to inspire others, you know, with the platform so it's just it's beautiful when it works out like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
and I love being part of it. So,
Thank you, man.
yeah, thank you.
Mm.
Uh, so, okay, so you were at Deloitte for 10 years, but now you're a speaker and you're an author. What does that have to do with risk management and
I
accounting?
know.
Right? Like
I know,
I'm like,
cause
there's a bridge missing here.
yeah, it's so funny. Like, I remember when I did my public accounting days with Deloitte& and Touche, and I also stayed at Ernst& and Young. I was there for 5 years, about 4 years, so 14 years total in public accounting, and I was trying to save the marriage,
Mm,
right, at the time, and so I had left public accounting and went to Walmart to start the next chapter, and that's when we're actually what ended up trying to save the marriage actually expedited the
mm,
divorce. And I'm
Mhm.
grateful looking back, hindsight, it was the right decision, right?
Yeah,
She's an amazing person. I really do love her. And I'm grateful for all the beautiful years she's given me and my
yeah.
children. And I always will say it forever. She might still not like my guts, and I get that too. But I
Yeah,
really do respect her, appreciate that what I mean, she gave me so much. Like the early part of my career, I'm forever in debt for her capacity to pour into me and that young 22-year-old kid that didn't know crap,
yeah,
right?
it's huge, man.
So that part, and then I went to, Walmart and Target, and then I was getting tired of that world, trying to go back home to Philadelphia, and then Amazon swooped me up.
Mm,
And what caught my attention to Amazon was mobility. It was like, okay, I can come work there, do what I normally do, risk management, do finance and accounting, but I'm able to navigate the landscape. That's what they were known for. You're not restricted to stay in your trade.
yeah,
And so I went. So while I was there, I did my due diligence in risk management and built teams and so forth. You know, then I had an opportunity to move into human HR, resources, human resources. I call human risk management. I'll get back to that later,
yeah,
right? And I had a chance to shift into that world. And the reason what made me do it is I knew I wanted to write a book.
mm,
I knew I wanted to tap into human potential. And I knew my corporate resume could make it confusing, as you mentioned, to write a book about human and work here in leadership. You are a IT auditor,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And so going over to human resources gave me a chance to learn the theory and the application. I already had the lived experience to be able to apply to what I already knew in leadership.
yeah,
That was the real reason why I made that shift. Fast forward, I learned a whole lot more in HR than I expected, but I did get a chance to publish a book.
mm,
And in the process of publishing the book was my own lived learning journey. The book encompasses stories of my past life. These stories I share with you are not in the book. Uh, so got new raw content,
yeah,
right? Right.
love it.
And then, right, but I share other stories in the book that my hope is that by hearing it, you can see yourself and what opens up and what's possible. Then I have five contributing authors. One of those authors was my friend Capital Mowbray. He was one of the ones that was instrumental to say, "I need to write the book." Fast forward, book is alive, published last year. It helped me get clarity on my purpose.
Mm,
I work with humans to create possibilities, not excuses.
yeah,
I was doing it at the University of Washington, talking to the students and going through their program called Young Executives of Color. It was called YEOC. And while I was
yuck.
there, yeah, well, he'll get you for that. That was not me, y'all, that was him. Yeah, YEOC, not what he don't blame it on me. So, I'm in the
I can't
room.
help it. That's what it, dude.
I
Come
know,
on,
yeah, it was me. You said it, not me.
man.
So, I'm in this room for all these brilliant minds, and I said, "Take out a piece of paper." They took out a piece of paper, and I said, "Create possibilities, not excuses." And
Mm,
that became the genesis of my purpose.
yeah,
So the book quickly became the artifact, but I was living to my purpose, which was impact at scale, to tap into the next younger version of myself and others to see what's possible, period. And that's what they accomplished for me, man. So that's how I made the shift from risk. I'm still a risk manager. I still think in people, process, and technology. I still think in human risk, right? Because I did HR. They take all that experience of risk management, human risk, apply it to love for humans and what's possible. You birthed me.
yeah. So while you were talking about that, um, I want to dig a little bit deeper into sort of the premise.
Mhm.
What is the relationship between possibilities and excuses?
Woo! I love it. So, who's listening, take out a piece of paper and write it out.
Get it out.
Create
Get your pens and paper.
possibilities.
Let's go.
Yeah, take it out, right? Create possibilities, comma. I'm gonna come back to that comma. not excuses. Now, that statement could be said without the comma, and
Mm,
grammatically, both are correct. You can double check on me if I'm right or wrong on that. The comma is intentional. It's the transformation point. You pause,
mm,
create possibilities, comma, not excuses. Now you focus on the not excuses. I am not disregarding any of the excuses, the reasons of why or what your reality may be telling you. Got it. Is what so. It's what you consider it to be. The weight behind it. Understand, I am not going to dismiss any of your whys, but none of that has anything to do with the other side of the comma. Create possibilities.
mm.
So many times we focus so much energy on the excuses that keeps us at stop, as opposed to honoring them, acknowledging them, and spending time on the possibilities. What possibly can I create? Got it. I can't do this because of government law. I got it because I don't have the money. Got that. But how can I? What can I?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why can't I? Where can I? Who can I? That's the focus your energy on what you possibly can. It keeps you in the driving seat. That's the statement.
Yeah. Man, that's powerful. I think too the idea of possibilities, when you think of, like, when I think of the word possibilities, it's like, you can even feel it. Like, I can feel it in my face even thinking about it, right? Like, my eyes
Woo!
open a little wider, I've got a little bit of a weird smirk on my face, like, thinking about, like, "Okay, how can I create these possibilities?" And then when I think of excuses, I think of them as a reaction to unfulfilled possibilities, right? And so,
Oh, well said. Well said.
um, dude, that's powerful.
And think
That's
about
super
this,
powerful.
possibilities are endless.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yes, you have unfilled possibilities, and that's what's so. But you have
yeah,
endless possibilities,
yeah,
and that's what's so.
yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, really for you, the power is where you intentionally aim your focus,
Yes.
right? Like, I mean, dude, I love that. I love that message. I think there's so many things that are happening even between people, there's just no intention behind it. It's just like everything's accidental almost, right? When you do things accidentally all the time, the excuses are built in, right? Like you don't even have to think of them. Like oh, that happened. I didn't mean for it to. It's like already you're explaining it with an excuse, like
Bingo.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that's
it can
wild.
it contributes to think about this way, it contributes to your your areas you can't see that you don't know what you don't know. Because
Yeah,
what happens is when you start to reason away, then you don't give your chance the opportunity to understand the why.
yeah,
You don't unpack it. And
yeah,
so you got this situation that left unpacked. And so the opportunity where you can grow, now take sports, right? I love sports. It's a great analogy. When you're on the field, you're playing, you're running, you're in it, you're in the moment, you're present to the ear, the raindrop that may hit you in the cheek, the heart, you can feel your heart pumping from the intensity of it. You see if it's football, you see the player come at you, trying to side left or right. If you're playing tennis, you're trying to anticipate where the ball is going, right? If
mm,
you're playing basketball, looking at the angle you're at, who's coming, should I shoot, should I pass? You're in the moment.
yeah,
Now, here's the cool part. They record it all, right? You watch the tapes. Because in the moment, you don't even see what you couldn't see.
yeah.
You saw the player. Think about a quarterback, right? I'm a 49ers fan, don't judge me, right? And his
My
play,
dad
right?
was too. I'll forgive you.
Right? And his play with Chicago Bears, a quarterback, it was the last game of the season. They were on the 2-yard line, a chance to win the game. All that intensity. He runs back. He's under deep pressure. He doesn't know where to throw the ball. He throws the ball, hits the dirt. We win the game.
Mm,
When he goes back to watch the tape, he'll see it was two open receivers, but he couldn't see it at the time.
yeah,
So now watching the tapes, He could analyze what went right, what went wrong. We know what's so. We lost the game. Okay. And know the reasons. I was under pressure. I was being chased back. As a result, threw the ball short. It hit the grate. Got that too. That's the
Yeah.
reason. That's the excuse.
Yeah.
Now, but watching the tape, I can see what was possible that I missed at that time. So the next time I'm in this situation, my eyes and my consciousness is open to, hey, last time I've been here before, this feels familiar. Let me look to my right where I didn't last time. And it may be the receiver may actually be open and take the shot. So in this case, I may actually make the score and win. Now that next time, maybe 10 years from now, it may never happen,
Yeah.
but you learn from it. And that's what we rob ourselves of. We rob us of the inspection. Told you I'm still a auditor. The inspection of what was missed.
Yeah.
We rob ourselves every day by sitting in the reason versus the possibility.
What an excellent analogy. And I think that we talk about motivators a lot, on this podcast and our motivations behind things. How much so we talked about the relationship, between the possibilities and the excuses. What do you think the relationship is between fear and excuses?
Relationship between fear and excuses. Think about this. The excuses creates I call it self-sabotage reasons to keep you at stop.
Mm,
I tell people fear, as you know, is false evidence appearing real. It
mhm,
literally is truly false evidence appearing real.
yeah,
Once you learn to work through, address, you don't get rid of fear. I don't believe in that, at least me personally. But you work through work through and address fear. Then you are able to see how unreal it was. It was your perceived reality. And what's holding you back, those triggers, right, as you mentioned, is the very thing you need to work through. And when you work through the other side, so much more sweeter. So
yeah,
for me, it's like jumping into a cold pool. Yeah, the pool's cold. I can anticipate that. Do I want that experience? Some people just jump in, cold plunge, and they like, whatever. I
yeah,
think they're crazy. Some people put their little toe in there and dip their feet. You crazy, right? Dip their toe in there, right? Some people walk back and take a few steps, make a big shoulder and run and make a big splash.
sure,
I just tell people jump the heck into the pool.
yeah,
Jump in there. Now, there was one time in my life I can remember when the pool was so cold, I jumped back out of it. But no, normally the pool, when you're in there, you get this sensation. You know this from doing it. Your
yeah,
body normalizes and it's fun. You're in the water. You
yeah,
did it. You
yeah,
actually did it. You experienced and it refreshes. In my case, it's refreshing, how refreshing it is, and you continue. Now you got a
yeah,
decision if you want to get back out or stay in there, but that's okay. You did it. And so for me, it's like you mentioned, it's learning to address fear. That's actually the first chapter in my book is address fear. I want to hit it straight on. If you don't address fear, you're not unstoppable. You have to address fear. And you watch any sport, especially heavy contenders, man, they have no problem addressing fear. It's kind of they on the other side, they extreme it. They'll jump off of buildings and do stuff and
yeah,
look at they just I'm like, whoa, okay, there's some limits here, right? And cause and effect, but they demonstrate that without apologies,
yeah,
right? And you got
yeah,
some folks that are literally paralyzed because they can't take the chance. So
yeah,
my theory is, how do I help you get more centered, address your fear, work through it? I used to be scared to speak publicly.
mm,
I thought I couldn't speak well, I speak too fast, which is true, right? I think I could, but what wasn't true was, okay, I can learn to slow down. I can get training. I can get coaching. I got involved in nonprofits so I can have practice in a comfortable environment. And I learned to work through what I thought was my blocker. I had a lot to say. So how can you tell me I can't speak when I have a lot to say?
yeah,
Work right through it. And
yeah,
so today is a demonstration of even my own self working through fear when I was in college, worrying about public speaking. What? And
Yeah.
I still get a little nervous. And I remember one time I was at a stage and it had about 10,000 people out there, and I saw the back screen that says, "What is your legacy?" And that woke me up. I have an opportunity to speak in front of 10,000 people and leave back legacy. Why would I not take this on? So I walked out, did my little dance, being cool, kind of shook off the nerves, right? And I say, "Welcome, how are you?" And they all respond. My hands was wide open. And I have a picture capturing that moment. I love that photographer. Captured the moment, my hands wide open. 'Cause that was my transformation, going from
Yeah.
don't be held back by limited beliefs.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I've heard another analogy for fear. It's more of an overcoming, right? And that's face everything and rise.
Yes.
And I think that
Yes.
that is a great motivational poster, but I don't really think it has any real relationship to the way that fear works actively in our life, right? Like you may overcome your fear and actually rise and face it. Um, but it's not your default, right? It's gonna
Correct.
take you're gonna have to motivate yourself over that hill to head that direction.
Right.
Um, and I think that the scary thing is that it used to be that we were afraid of specific things, like, I'm not the biggest fan of spiders, I don't like heights,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But but I never was scared of just the unknown, you
Yeah.
know? And I think that there's been a shift in our culture where people are just afraid as a default, you know, without even knowing why. And
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think fear is a super important emotion. There's a reason why we have it. It is a protector. It does alert you to the possibility of danger. But some of the most rewarding things that I've ever experienced in my life had some danger involved in them. They had a little pain involved in them. They had maybe even, I came out not completely unscathed, but I gained something so valuable that there's no price I wouldn't have paid for it.
Correct.
So I think that's interesting, in terms of just the mindset. What is we didn't talk about, what's your book called?
Ooh. Leadership unlocked. Harness the power of your ambition.
Look at that. Look at that. Is that book available now?
Yes, it is on Amazon.com in any country. So no matter where you at in the world, and it's in print, both soft and hardcover. And it's also on Kindle, digital copy, and it's also audio on Audible,
Okay.
and
Did
it's
you
in
do
my
the
voice.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yes,
say that's what I was gonna ask you. Did you do the voice?
I had to. It was too personable,
Yeah,
right? It was
yeah.
like, how am I talk about transformation and not be authentic and sharing? So you'll hear the inflection in my voice when it's in areas that are pretty tough and close. You'll hear the pause. I had a really good sound engineer to clean up some of that noise. But I cry and teared up sometimes too, because
Hey,
in
I love that.
each chapter closes out with key takeaways. That is from the lens that I had. But then on the other side, I call it transformative learning spaces. Consider what you read in this chapter and the key takeaways listed above. Write down a few ideas about how you can apply these learnings. And it's literally a blank side paper for you to capture. It's not about what I perceive it to be, what opens up for you. And then I said, include at least one actionable step you will take to unlock your leadership potential.
Mm,
We all are on our journey. The first part of the book is about get out of your way,
yeah,
address fear, practice gratitude, set boundaries, patience, persistence, working with people, right?
yeah,
Second part of the book is the activation, is the application side of it. Is the okay, how do I seek and provide clarity? How do I earn trust, gain trust? How do I take action against that commitment, and as a result, inspire others and
Mm,
myself in the process. And then I close the book out with love because
perfect.
listen, if you don't dress fear, are you loving yourself? If you don't practice gratitude, are you loving yourself? If
Mm,
you don't establish boundaries, are you loving yourself? If you're not patient, are you loving yourself? If you're not persistent about going for what you know is important, are you loving yourself? And I think to your point, humanity has lost a sense of humanity.
mm,
We're not loving ourselves. We're watching things happen and
yeah.
sitting idle. That is the worst thing to do. I don't care what your views are. Be engaged in what those are. Don't just sit idle and let things happen to you. You're not loving yourself and you're not loving your neighbor. So that, my friend, is what the book is about. And it's way deeper
Oof.
than just because when you do your internal work, you show up that way better as a leader. If I don't address fear, and my fear is to your point earlier, is I'm gonna not trust people because I'm fearful they're gonna do me wrong. The moment you're in fear and you run a team, guess what you're gonna do? You push your team away because
That's
you don't
right.
trust them and you self-sabotage your own well-being because fear took over. Now you're a horrible leader because your team don't trust you because you don't trust them. And then you end up losing your job because you couldn't check in about your own fear. It was fear running the whole show.
Yeah.
Get the book, dive in. I want to hear back from you about what the experience was.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm definitely gonna read it. How does that, when you do your speaking engagements, is it on the content of the book?
Yeah, it depends on the topic. So most cases I do workshops where I want to understand how we rebuild established trust or get out your own way and or the
Cool.
power of storytelling. There's components that make sense that can extrapolate from the book. To your point, I've been speaking as a speaker for 25 years. The book is
Mhm.
only 1 years old. So a
Okay,
lot of
gotcha,
my
gotcha.
topics predate, right, the book, but the
Sure.
book is a solid artifact. It helps
Yeah.
folks make it real for them and say, "Oh, I get Jesse's mindset. I can understand the path to leadership and why he wrote this book and how it applies through his lived experience." And so when I'm talking to people, I'm talking to them as a public accountant that went to industry, that went from industry to HR within industry, right? Like I got layers and then I bring on friends with me. My friends come along with me about their stories that is what I do at the workshops. That's what I do in my keynote speaks. And that's what I do. And how do I inspire you to your greatness? And
Oh,
one of the genesis of the book was the key principles of inspiring leadership. And so a lot of that is in my public speaking. How do I
okay.
inspire you to be your full potential, your full greatness?
That's great, man. So, it seems weird to ask an author this,
No,
especially one
ask it.
especially one that's just put out a book, right? But, I got this question that I love to ask people, I'm always, very forthright about it. I completely stole this question from, one of the executives at the last company I was at, Michael Valdez, and he probably stole it from someone else too, but
Of
I credit
course.
him, right? Because that's, so if you were writing the book of your life, what is this chapter called?
Woo. Love.
Mm, bro. I mean, what else is there? Right? What else is there? What's next for you? What's the next chapter?
Oh man, I'm living it right now. You know, been blessed with a beautiful corporate career, and I am unapologetically leaning into my purpose and my why, which is
Yeah.
work with humans to create possibilities, not excuses. I'm grateful for platforms like you to allow that voice to get out, to let folks to say to yourself, I love me. To say to
Mm,
yourself, I love me. And I'm full and complete as I am. I'm human.
yeah.
I take the learnings and the gains, both are positive, and helping folks realize that the world is desperate to make the impact that only you can make. I don't care if you're a twin, I don't care who you have, you are uniquely positioned and created to be powerful. Lean into it. And
Oof.
so for me, being free and liberated to do this message forward has been bringing beautiful people in my life that are also like yourself, that are also embracing it. So by me being clear with clarity on my intentions is allowing me to bring in beautiful humans that are of like minds to also create change. That's my next chapter.
Oh, I love that so much. Man, Mr. Jesse Rhodes Jr., I am honored and privileged to know you. I'm so grateful for your time today. Thank you for being on the show. Everybody, go check. Oh, where can they find you besides the book on Amazon? Where can they come find what you're doing?
Oh, I made it easy. As you said at the beginning of the show, it's all in the name. JesseRhodesJr.com. JesseRhodesJr.com. It's so funny when I travel international, they say Rhodes. I like that. Rhodes. It's
Yeah,
easy to
yeah,
spell.
yeah.
Rhodes.
That's
Hello, Mr.
amazing.
Rhodes. Like, hi. So when I travel international, my name is Mr. Rhodes. For you, those in the US, Mr. Rhodes. That's me.
Okay. I like it. Well, for everybody out there, go check him out. Go check out the website, buy the book, go through the process of it. If you can find an opportunity to go see him speak live, go do it. You can tell just by the conversation, the heart and the passion behind it. And, while you're here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit your notifications, set all that stuff, send it out, share it. We're going to just keep doing things like this, bringing on amazing people like Jesse and trying to present all these different opportunities that you can have to figure out how to plug in, face your fear, learn to love yourself, create possibilities, and minimize your excuses. That's what we're here to do. So until next time, this has been Sweeter After Difficulty. Thank you so much, Jesse. Appreciate you.
Stay blessed.